Challenges for the new season of Fox's Ultimate Celebrity Social Experiment. The new season of Special Forces World's Toughest Test is airing right now, and one of the celebrity recruits this season joins us live, longtime Green Bay Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb, and may we also say the newly minted member of the Kentucky Wildcats Hall of Fame class of 2025. You got a lot going on, my man. Thanks for carving out some time with us.
Thank you, Carl. It's great to see you.
Let me ask you about why you were interested in this, because I'll say our co-anchor Derek, a huge fan of the show. It's such an interesting mix of celebrities, reality stars, athletes, all thrown into this unfamiliar situation. So what was appealing for it to you?
I think just missing the thrill of playing. So it gave me the opportunity to do something that, that I'll never have the opportunity to do again. It was a really cool experience, but also just the appreciation for the military and what they go through. I got to live it out. I got to experience that. Obviously, it wasn't real live bullets flying, but you definitely felt the adrenaline and you felt all the different emotions and the mental aspect of what they do.
I would assume that athletes would perform really well on this show, given the mental fortitude, the mental strength that you guys have to do, going through training camp, long seasons, certainly getting hit and berated by people over the course of a football season specifically. What surprised you about what you kind of thought you would do well and what the reality turned out to be?
I think that obviously, yes, physically, it makes it a lot easier being an athlete and going through training camp and doing all those things. But I think the biggest separation was always being on. When it comes to football, I know we have a 2-hour practice window. I know that we're going to have our workouts. You know what to expect. In this show and through all the different courses that we went through, we would be briefed on what we were going to do. And we would have an idea in our mind, but it would be completely opposite of anything that we thought that we were going to get ourselves into. And just the adrenaline rush and the preparation, you couldn't prepare for that. There was nothing that I could do in any of the training that I did leading up to it that could prepare me for what I was getting ready for.
Let me ask you a little bit of a transition question before we talk some ball here. But over the years with the Packers, anyone stand out to you who was like a real drill sergeant type, maybe not to the extreme that you were getting with Special Forces, but a coach, a player who was kind of always keeping you on your toes, or a story that comes to mind with that?
I think for me, it was more similar to my college coach and my high school coach in the weight room. Just the way that they're arming us to be disciplined and being prepared and expect the unexpected. That was kind of going through winter workouts in college. It was one of those type of situations where you just had to be prepared for whatever and just to push yourself mentally to levels and places that you didn't think you could go.
Yeah, without the satisfaction of performing for the crowds in those quiet moments where the work is done either. Let me ask you about this year's Packers, because I'm sure you're watching closely. It's an interesting start. The first couple weeks, all of the accolades, all the people saying they're the Super Bowl favorites, and then perhaps some scuffles the last couple weeks. Where do you see this team with an early bye and what they've already put on tape so far?
Well, I think obviously adding Micah to the mix was a huge addition to the defense. They played well throughout the course of the season. And whenever I think about the team as a whole, obviously they have some injuries on offense. The offensive line has had their fair share of situations and issues. But overall, I still look at them as a favorite in NFC. Just their ability to have a guy like Jordan Love at quarterback that's going to be able to get the ball around to some playmakers. We saw what Romeo's been able to do with 3 touchdowns this past week. Tucker Kraft is leading the team in receiving right now. Josh Jacobs is obviously going to be play a big role as the season continues to move forward. I still feel really good, and I know they haven't had the showing, the dominance that everyone expects them to have right now, but we have to remember it's still the NFL, and most games are going to come down to winning it late in the game and it being a close game.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but something about Josh Jacobs' demeanor makes me think he would perform pretty well on Special Forces. I don't know.
I think so. He definitely has that mental fortitude to last.
Yeah. Well, we're going to enjoy watching you performing for us once again, not on Sunday afternoons, but instead on Thursday nights right here on Fox. Randall, thank you so much for all the time this morning.
Thanks for having me.